Hello, team, and welcome to the next episode of What an Absolute Fit Show. Today, I talked to my lovely wife, Sara, about various different fitness related topics, including what it's like getting back into fitness after having a baby, what it's like changing your focus from aesthetics to fitness, and what it's like being married to me. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other side.
Obviously there is pressure, I think, being married to a PT. You sort of feel like there's a pressure on you as somebody that is with a PT to look a certain way, because you think, oh well, if you're married to a PT, you need to look good as well. Obviously, otherwise that's not saying that very good about them, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you look at the majority of personal trainers, I would say that I'm probably in the lower percentages of PTs that look good. Like I've got an average kind of rig I'm in. I'm not looking for you to say, no, Nick, you're a fucking Adonis. Yeah. I'm just being serious. I'm just being serious. I'm not as ripped or not as muscly, not as lean as a lot of other PTs, because I enjoy life as well. There's more for me. There's more to life than just being in the gym or eating really, really cleanly all the time. Like we went out last night and we had a meal.
Yeah.
I didn't pick the healthiest things on because I wasn't worried about my six pack.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried at all. I was just happy to be out having a meal, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think there should be any pressure on you. I don't think there should be any pressure on anybody.
I know, but I think like the first thing that people say, like, oh, what does your husband do? He's a PT. They're going to look at you and think like, oh, well, you should be in good shape then. You've got somebody on call 24/7 to like train you and, give you nutrition advice and make sure that you look your best. And obviously for you as well, like there's that pressure of me looking good for you. That's
Yeah.
you're working in a gym environment all the time, seeing people that look good all the time, and there is that pressure to keep up and make sure that
Yeah, absolutely.
I look as good.
You're doing a bloody good job because I'm really busy. So well done.
Oh yeah, that is all on me. Yeah.
So how is it like? So your story, our story, I should say, after having Fleur, your fitness story. Like before you had Fleur, you were going to the gym a lot. You were
5 times a week.
5 times a week. You have always been in really good shape. And after you had Fleur, you didn't take you long to sort of get back to where you were. Not quite as much. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me your. I can only say how you felt, how I feel that you looked.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You tell me how you felt after having Fleur.
To be honest, it's really difficult because when you've looked a certain way, for such a long time, like I trained really hard before Fleur came, even during the pregnancy when, I trained loads and didn't really put on that much weight. It was just like massive baby bump, but I didn't put on loads of like extra fat or anything like that. But afterwards, because you don't have the time to train, after the baby comes really, and I wasn't training at all. It was all sort of just taken up with her. It was really difficult to not see yourself look as good as you did before. And even now, I don't feel like I'm ever going to get back to how I was then. I don't feel like now I look as good as I did before Flirt was born. And I don't know if I ever will. As you get older as well, it gets harder to get back into shape as quick. And it was really hard. And it does knock your confidence because you feel like, I don't know, you just feel different after. I think anybody feels different after having a baby anyway, because you become a mum. So you lose sort of almost some of your identity because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain. But having that with the fact that you don't feel like you look as good as you did before, it is quite hard to get your head around.
Yeah. I think you're a prime example of this. It's just taken you a while to get to the realization is you, before Fleur came along and even while you were pregnant, the style of training that you were doing was very HIIT, very cardio centric, a lot of running, a lot of circuit based training, body weight done very, very fast, jumping around the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, like your body fat percentage is probably a little bit higher. Not that anybody gives a fuck, but you're holding onto a lot more muscle.
Yeah.
Good muscle. I don't mean that I'm married to a fucking bodybuilder. I mean, you're holding on to awesome, sexy muscle. Right? Your body does change. Your body does change as you get older, but also you can train around it. You can train a certain way. Like for you now, you're not training to try and lose weight. You're training to try and get better at something, get better at doing. I've been harping on my social media for a bit now about saying don't train to lose weight, train to get better at doing pull-ups, or train to get better at running a 5K or whatever. You very much taken that, and we're almost part of the inspiration for me sort of putting that out a lot was you saying, I want to get better at doing pull-ups. I want to get heavier doing clean and jerk. I want to get better on the rower and whatever, everything that all encompasses into like that functional fitness thing that you're doing now.
That's been a massive change for me though, because I have never before trained to achieve something or get better at something apart from how I looked. Like before, I always used to train. Yeah, I wanted to be fit and I wanted to be healthy, but it was like I wanted to train to look better.
Yeah.
I never really had a goal other than to be like thin.
Yeah.
Basically, or to like be in shape or to look good, or whereas now, since starting this style of training, I've got actual goals that I want to reach. Like, I want to be able to get a pull-up by Christmas. I want to be able to do handstands, which I'm miles away from doing still. But to have that goal there to keep going, and like, no, it's not so much about how I look anymore. It's about wanting to be able to do this stuff because I want to see what my body can do.
Yeah.
And I've never had that before, and it's massively changed the way I feel about training. I enjoy it so much more than I ever did now, because when you do get them little wins in, it's just a really good feeling.
Yeah, I reckon the endorphin release from getting your first pull-up or hitting a new weight or running, getting a better time doing something.
Yeah.
Because you're getting that endorphin release from exercising anyway, plus that endorphin release from, wow, I've just accomplished something awesome, is going to far outweigh the endorphin release that you get from stepping on the scales.
Yeah.
And having lost a couple of pounds or whatever this week, compared with last week.
I don't get on the scales
everybody
anymore.
Else in the gym, when you get your first pull-up, or everybody's going to be congratulating you, everybody's going to be giving you high fives and shit like that. Whereas most of the time when you get on the scales, you're on your own in the bathroom, depending on what's going on outside of your control in your life, is very much going to control how much weight you've lost.
Yeah.
So unless it's actually something that you need to do for your health, or you've got a metric that you've got to get to for your health, or you're doing a sport where you have to weigh a certain body weight, I don't really see the point at all.
Yeah,
and
not
I
weigh
would
yourself for
massively
ages.
discourage. We haven't even got a set of scales in the house.
No.
What's the point?
But I know just by the way I look and the way I feel and the way your clothes fit, you can tell that
you've lost. I don't think you've lost. I don't know. You've not weighed yourself. I don't know, right? But you may not have lost weight.
No.
But you've definitely lost body fat and put on some muscle. And again, stipulate, the muscle isn't like the muscle that you would think of when you think of like, oh, put on loads of muscle, put on loads of like bodybuilder-esque muscle. It's just good tone. It's what you would say toning up, whatever. That fucking old school. I want to tone up and just lose a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Well, that was what my goal always used to be. You always used to say to me, what is your goal in the gym? And say, I just want to lose a bit of weight and tone up. And you'd look at me like you want to shoot me.
Yeah.
But now I can I've got real goals.
Yeah. And you've lost weight and I've got my bunny ears out. Yeah. Toned up.
Yeah.
But you've done it through not really giving a fuck about losing weight or toning up.
Yeah.
You've just literally come to the gym 3 times a week. 4?
4 now. 4,
yeah.
Yeah. Do 5 hours. Yeah.
And just 5 hours a week.
Yeah. No. But that's only been probably for the past couple of months, really.
Yeah.
When I started getting really serious, when I got roped in.
Yeah.
To do it.
So we'll move on to that. So this is the thing as well. Again, with you probably wouldn't be on your fitness journey. Because I'm a firm believer that everybody needs a mechanism. Now, these are like pain points. Your pain point wasn't really a pain point. You were just fucking guilted in to doing a fitness competition by a friend.
Yeah.
Right?
But now I think I'm so glad that I was.
Yeah.
Because it made me get my finger out and be like, no, actually, because there was always excuses of like, oh, I haven't really got the time to get to the gym, or it's not fair on Fleur to drag her along to the gym all the time. But she's fine. She loves coming. And it gave me a reason, because obviously with it being a pairs comp, I didn't want to let, I didn't want to let them down.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've got to pull my finger out. I've agreed to do this now. I've got to do the best that I can. And obviously, with only having like 3 or 4 months to prepare, it wasn't the best it could have been, but it was the best I could do at the time. But that I enjoyed it so much that it gave me the kick that I needed to be like, right, next year I want to do something better. And I want to do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as well, so we can thank Julia for roping you into
I didn't want to
right? So you can.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Yeah, like I think you need a catalyst or a mechanism for these things to actually kick up into. Now, some people, and I've spoke about this before, and sometimes it can be quite hard. And part of my job is to find out what that pain point is, find out what that mechanism is, because sometimes it's not very nice. Sometimes like a mechanism couldn't be, oh well, my husband told me that I've put on some weight. I'm like, fucking hell. Yeah. Or not that that's ever nobody's actually ever said that to me, but I can imagine. Yeah. Or you've got, I've had clients in the past where the pain points have been really quite emotional to listen to, and really not that very nice, and really sort of like, wow, okay, so we need to kind of excuse me, we need to sort of broach this carefully, and we need to do this in a very careful way. And I think for you were quite, I'm not going to say lucky, but you already had quite a lot of confidence in your own body.
Maybe it appeared that way, but not after Fleur, really. No. Not until, well, even now, but like a lot more confidence now than I had even 6 months ago before I started in the gym.
I can tell that because you're fishing out old dresses and clothes that I've not seen you wear for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that are a bit more, you know, what's the better way to say it? The best way to say it? You're showing off your tits and your ass a little bit more. Yeah, because you've got a bit more confidence to do that now. Because, you know, these goals that have got absolutely nothing to do with image whatsoever. Yeah, it's giving you the confidence to, you know. And I remember once, years ago, I was doing something when I was in the Navy. It was like an arduous course, and I remember walking around the traffic centre, and I wasn't very big. I was very, very small, very, very lean at this point because I just didn't have any body fat on me, and you know it was
tiny.
Yeah. And I remember walking around the gym, and there was a load of like big men, muscly men walking around in their Armani like really tight t-shirts and stuff, and I was like, I don't give a fuck what you look like, because you're not going to be able to do half the shit that I've been able to do, that I've been made to do, and that I've had to do, you know. And now I look at it, and you know, you see people, and I've got nothing against people like bodybuilders. I've got nothing against people that have got a lot of muscle. You know, you look at it and you look at their image, and I'm like, fuck me, that's taken some hard work, and that looks really good.
Yeah.
You know, but when they're walking around looking down on me because I'm not holding on to as much muscle, and a coach as well, and it happens a lot. You get the look like, he's a coach and you don't even look like he lifts. I'm like, yeah, do a fucking muscle up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be very deceptive, I think, can't it? Especially with this style of training. Like, you can't always tell what people are capable of from what they look like.
No.
At all, really.
Just to go back, for anybody that's listening, that it was Sara's first CrossFit competition. She did her first CrossFit competition, so it wasn't like we're saying competition like that could mean anything. It could have been a physique competition. For anybody knows, it was a CrossFit competition.
If anybody knows,
yeah. So you know, so how was that?
Terrifying.
Was it?
Yeah, and it was only a small, little, like, friendly local gym. Exactly. It wasn't even like a big platform.
A caveat on that: it's not like I fucking sent her to the CrossFit Games.
No, it was a little local box.
Yeah,
but it was absolutely terrifying beforehand.
Yeah.
Terrifying when we got there. But then, you know, when we were actually all there,
because we went down,
it was the best day ever. I loved it. Yeah. I absolutely loved it. It was brilliant. It was so much fun. It was just a really, really good experience.
Yeah.
And that was what sort of gave me the bug to think, I want to do this again. Yeah. But I want to do it a lot better.
Little fire under your butt.
Yeah.
To just, you know, get better at stuff.
Yeah.
Not look better. Because you're already starting to feel better about your image and stuff like that. So, you know.
Yeah.
So, staying on image, I am, and we've talked about this quite a lot. We've got a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And we often talk about it. And I always remember once, Fleur was quite young. She would never have noticed this because she was like 1. But I remember having a bit of an obsession with, like, I was holding on to a little bit of belly fat. It was like, you know, guys go through this as well when they have a kid. Yeah. I put on a little bit of weight, and, you know, you go through a little bit of, oh my God, my life's changed. I can't get to the gym as much and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I kept on grabbing hold of this bit of belly fat that I had. And I kept on grabbing and be like, you know what I mean? Just grabbing on. And you remember you saying to me once, you said, when she gets older, she's going to see that.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, what the fuck's he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's for me, I think she's going to have enough pressure because she's going to grow up with social media. She's going to grow up looking at Instagram or TikTok or whatever comes along that is the sort of next gen social media, and it's going to be filled with these body images and things of what she should be attaining to look like, and what she should, this is how you should look if you want to be, have confidence and feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
But it's a load of bollocks, obviously.
Yeah.
Because the people that you see, the people that you do see on social media, they're in like the top 0.1% that get into the top of your algorithm, get into the top of your pages anyway. And it does scare me a little bit if she's going to see that.
Yeah.
And also if she's got parents, especially that are in like the fitness industry, if I was just obsessed with what I weighed and obsessed with what I look like, that is then going to trickle down, fucking hell. You know what I mean? I am definitely not asked about my diet because I can think about food.
Treacle, yeah.
It's going to trickle down to her. And the same with you.
Yeah. Now, I've become much more conscious since having Fleur and since she's been getting that bit older, especially, of not talking about what I look like in front of her and not like letting her see me judge myself on what I look like, because I don't want her to grow up thinking that that's the norm.
Yeah.
And that's what people do. I want her to come, like, it's amazing for me that she comes to the gym and she watches what we do and she watches what you're capable of and that I'm learning and stuff like that. And I think...
And she copies it as well.
And she copies it, and it's amazing. And I want her to grow up in an environment where that's how she feels, that it's, it's what she can do and what she can achieve, not what she looks like, that's important.
Yeah.
And it's really scary in like now at this time, like you say, with social media being so, influencer heavy, and everybody looks a certain way, and you've got to look like this and you've got to do that, and it is scary. And obviously try your best to protect her from stuff like that, but
she's going to come along, she grows up, she's going to see that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course she will. No. And it's just how we handle it, I suppose.
We've been on now for about 20 minutes and we've spoke a lot about, we basically said, don't worry about what you look like. Just train for stuff that you enjoy doing. And try to make your body get stronger and do more awesome things and set goals that aren't image related or appearance related. But we're I don't want to come across as being like holier than thou. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like. It obviously does.
Oh God, yeah.
People, with the whole reason that people go to the gym, like me and you, we can sit here now and we can be like, oh, don't train to look better. We fucking do. We both want to look better naked.
Yeah. That was the whole reason I went back into the gym, was to look better. It wasn't, it's progressed from there now into more of functional and what I can do, but it didn't start like that. I came back to the gym because I was like, I want to look better. I want to get back to feeling how I used to feel, and not in like this sort of almost like a rut that I got myself into.
But I think so. Everybody does care. We all care about what we look like naked. We don't want to be, I don't want to come across and be like, people to think that I'm trying to bullshit them into thinking that it doesn't matter, because it does. Everybody wants to look better naked. What I'm trying to say, and what I think you have come to the realization, that you can look pretty good without having to hyper focus on looking good naked, or like just being like, oh God, this, I need to have, the amount of times I've been asked, how do I get rid of this bit of fat from here? I'm like, you can't spot reduce fat.
Doesn't work like
doesn't work like that. Focus on getting strong. Focus, and this is another thing as well. People go hard on the cardio. I'm not talking about people that go to the gym already and they've already got, or they know people that go to the gym and they're getting a little bit, they're getting led in a certain way. I think that's really good. It's people that come in, and I suppose this is how this is how we pay our mortgage. you know, is people come in and they think they've been told by either old school fitness industry or social media, even now, that okay, the more you move and the harder your workout is, the more you thrash yourself around the room, not in that way, right? The harder you go in the gym, cardio wise, and jumping about like a dickhead, the more you're gonna burn, the better you're gonna look. And it's like, well, no, it doesn't really work like that.
Well, look at me in the past.
Fucking shrunk.
I was absolutely terrified of doing any sort of proper weight training because I remember I used to say to you all the time, yeah, but I just want to lose weight. I don't want to be muscly. I don't want to be muscly. Thinking that like if I started lifting a barbell, I was going to look like some sort of bloody...
Fucking pisses me off, that.
You know, and now I've learned that obviously it takes a lot to put on just a little bit of muscle. I'm not going to start walking around like, you know. Yeah,
it's like, I have had that. People say that to me in the past. They've been like, oh, well, I don't want to do much weight because I don't want to put on much muscle. And I'm like, are you fucking joking me? I've been doing this since I was 16. Look at the size of me. Yeah? I'm not exactly massive. And I lift weight every single day pretty much. Yeah. You know, like 5 times a week, sometimes 6 times a week. And that's not going to happen.
No. And I've learned that now. Yeah.
It's about, you know, you take the variables, and I'm not going to get into it now because it's what people pay me to do. Yeah, so I'm not going to give it all away free on it. But you take into account not just what, you know, you take into account people's goals, what they want to do. Let's say that let's say you've got your normal sort of person wants to come in, wants to look better naked or whatever. You then got to take in all these different variables. You can't just take into account their goal and be like, right, yeah, let's run with it. I'm going to write you a nutrition plan. I'm going to write you this program, and you're just going to blindly follow it. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. You know, it might do with some coaches, but some coaches are shit. You need to take into account everything about that person, what they're going through. Have they got a family? Have they got kids? What do they do for a living? Yeah. Because you need to, instead of just giving them the program, you need to weave the program and weave their coaching in and around their life. Yeah. That's the way it works. That's the way that people tend to get. And people that actually understand that and take that on board, and they're like, okay, so this isn't going to be a complete change for me. This is me taking this new thing that I'm doing, going to the gym, simplifying my nutrition, cleaning it up a little bit. I'm going to weave it and intertwine it into my life. Yeah. Doesn't mean that, oh no, I can't spend any time with my family anymore because I've got to spend every single night in the gym. Yeah, it doesn't mean that at all. No. It means, you know, like you said before, that you almost felt like you're making excuses of I couldn't get into the gym because of Fleur and because of this and because of work. But then actually I got into the gym, and Fleur doesn't mind being in the gym. But actually we're quite lucky in the fact that Fleur will just sit there.
She's a good kid, yeah.
And at the gym doesn't mind her just sitting there.
Yeah. I know that won't be the same for everybody.
There's a difference between, you know, sort of more, you wouldn't get away with that in a commercial. No. More commercial. You're going to get away with that in, you know, like more community-led gyms. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah, you can bring your kid, you bring your dog or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, and as long as they're not going to shit.
Are you comparing our kid to a dog?
No. But, you know, a kid or a dog could just sit there and curl one out on the floor. So, you know, that's the main thing I think that gym owners would be worrying about. Yeah. So, yeah, you kind of luck is on our side. Our side. It frees us up a lot of time. And plus, I work in a gym and in a few different gyms that, you know, if I need to get a workout in, I'll just get a workout in whenever. So for me, it's taken me a long time to sort of get my head around the fact that I haven't got time. I'm like, what do you mean I haven't got time? But actually, no, the more I sit and I think about it, and I have done this for a while, and when you come up with different clients and different people that you're trying to help and working with, and they give that time sort of limitation, and you're like, oh God. But then you've actually, you know what, you are going to struggle. I really, really need to think about this, and I need to program for you to be in and out of the gym in half an hour, because that is literally what you've got. So we need to make sure that But then, you know, you reassure, and you are reassured yourself as a coach that half an hour is enough.
Yeah.
Because it's not all about being in the gym. It's not all about being like, you know, that I've given you some workouts in the past that have been 10 minutes, 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
And they've absolutely obliterated you.
Yeah.
You know, and got you hotter and sweatier than you've ever been in your entire life. Again, you know, not counting.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's it's not all about what you do in the gym.
No.
It's about what you do at home as well. It's about what you do in the kitchen, talking about food.
Yeah.
And it's about what you do, habits, you know, building those habits. And that, so you've not just started coming to the gym again.
No.
You've started to build new habits. Yeah. Or be reacquainted with old habits.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so you come to the gym on a certain night of the week.
Yeah.
Come to the gym at the weekends. We eat, because both of us are now involved in it. We're a little bit more, we hold each other to account a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
I've picked up I've been eating a bit more chocolate recently, you know, and you've held me to account. You're like, Nick, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want you coming back to me in a couple of months and fucking grabbing your belly again. Oh, fucking yeah. Don't do it.
Because I get it in the neck then.
I know. So, yeah, it's about, you know, you keeping yourself accountable and building those habits.
And it's definitely easier if you're sort of doing it together, I think. Like if you're in that environment where, you know, in your home where if you're with a partner or whatever, you both have got that common interest, it is much easier, I think, because you, like you say, keep each other accountable. It's easier as well, nutrition wise, if you're both sort of eating the same things, and you know, you've both got an interest in it.
I'll put a big thing onto that, like both eating the same thing. We used to eat some really, really complicated shit, didn't we? We'd be like, you know, getting the cookbook out and making some really nice. And there is, obviously, I think there is room for having these really nice, complicated meals that take an hour to cook or whatever. They're great. But at the end of the day, like, you can't really get away from at the start. And like, some people can eat and sort of like, not guess, but like intuitively. Yeah. And be like, I don't think I've eaten. I think I'm in a calorie deficit, like you think you are. But at the end of the day, if you don't like calorie counting, okay, like whatever. But potentially, most people, unless you've got a predisposition to having issues, you know, with you know, body, calorie counting is a tool. And it's probably one of the most important tools because it's going to tell you whether you're in a deficit or not. Now, for us, it's really easy to calculate more simple meals.
Yeah.
So, and I know that I'm not telling you just eat chicken and rice and shit like that. You can get some really tasty, like pretty well put together ready meals with shitloads of protein that you can just stick in the microwave. Like I finish with my clients probably 3 or 4 times a week, at like 9:30 at night.
Yeah,
it means I'm not getting back till 10. Then I've got to eat. I ain't getting the frying pan out or putting stuff in the oven. We're sticking something in the microwave, you know? But if we can get something that is like, okay, well, you know, you look at it, looks nutritionally okay. It's a lot of protein in it and it's quite low. And you make it fit. Yeah. You keep it a little bit more simple. And then the other nights, then we have our more sort of like our little flourishes in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard though, isn't it? When you're both working a lot and you've got busy lives and kids and stuff, it's hard to get that food, like, you know, food cooked, like freshly prepared, fancy, you know, lovely meals that I'd love to be able to make, but it's hard fitting it in. Yeah.
And there's from the fitness industry as well, there's so much pressure as well. Probably not just from the fitness industry, but probably from, you know, again, fucking social media.
Yeah.
Going on like, oh, I made this today. No, you didn't, Barbara. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. That's not real. Like you can't, you know, people haven't got time to be doing that shit. You know, just sometimes you things have got to work around your life.
Yeah.
And nutrition sometimes has got to work. Training's got to work around your life, and nutrition has got to work around your life.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that I'm going to say that I want to get your sort of, being as you've just kind of almost just started your new fitness journey, is why are people in such a fucking rush to get their goals sorted? There's such a massive, like, I want to do this now. Like, when I want to lose this amount of weight and I want to do it in 6 weeks. It's like, okay.
People are just impatient, aren't they? And I think you do yourself, like in the beginning of something. Like, I remember thinking when I first started coming back to the gym and getting more serious, and when like Julia asked me, you know, will you do this competition with me? And I was like, when is it? And she was like, oh, it's in 4 months. And I was like, yeah, of course I will. 4 months. Oh my God, I'm going to be a master by then.
Yeah.
I'll be 4 months is loads of time. I'll be, you know, I'll have loads of training under my belt. I'll know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to be dead fit. I'll be this, I'll be that. I'll be able to do all the stuff that I need to do. And when it came to it, 4 months is no time at all. Like, I'd improved a bit, but I was nowhere near where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Because it takes time, and that's what I'm learning. And I'm just being a lot more patient with myself and not getting so stressed and thinking, you know, any improvement is a good improvement, and it might take time, but if you keep doing it and you keep consistent, you'll get there. You will get there. But nothing ever works as quick as you think it is, and all these quick fixes, and you know, it's just not realistic.
No, I think as well, and this may be the corniest thing that I have ever said in my entire life.
Oh God.
Here we go. You ready?
Don't make me cringe.
Oh, I think you're going to cringe. Guys, the journey is the reward.
Oh, for God's
sake. I know. Right, but it is.
No, it is. It is.
It is. It might not. I mean, and again, it all depends on your outlook. It all depends on what you're aiming for. If you're I'm not going to say simply, but if your main overarching goal is weight loss, and you're getting on the scales and fucking looking in the mirror and looking in the mirror is different, but like taking measurements, mate. I'm like, fucking hell. Like, nobody is walking around with a tape measure. Nobody's going to fucking measure you before letting you in. Yeah? Just in exactly the same way that you don't walk around with a digital readout of your weight on your fucking forehead.
No.
Nobody gives a shit. Oh, it's a good measurement to see how I'm progressing. So who gives a fuck?
It's not.
Do you feel better? Do you feel like you've lost weight? Chances are, if you feel like you've lost weight and people are telling you that you're looking like you've lost a bit of weight, you've probably lost a little bit of weight.
Thing is, though, like, this is something that it took me ages to get my head around. Like, when I used to weigh myself before, like I said, I don't really do it so much now. But because I used to say to you loads, like, I'm not losing weight. I'm getting heavier. What's going on? And it took me so long to get my head around the fact that muscle weighs heavier than fat.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I didn't want to be heavier. I just wanted to be lighter. Yeah. And it took me so long. Well, no, I don't care now. And I know that I've probably not lost any weight whatsoever.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm probably putting weight on.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with that now. It just takes time leaner. To get your head around it.
You're putting weight on.
And actually believe leaner. It. Yeah. Yeah.
It is. And, you know, I wish there was a better way of saying this. By the way, there's nothing untoward going on here. It's the dog having a drink of water. He's got out of bed and he's just decided to, yeah. Anyway, so you going back to bed, mate? No, he's coming over here. Right, so this might get a lot noisier now because we've got a little pug called Jeff and he does not breathe quietly. You want to sit down there? Cool. Yeah, I wish there was a better way of saying the journey is a reward, because it does sound so cringy, but enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Enjoy learning new habits and enjoy putting, you know, more weight on the bar or trying to aim to run that little bit faster and stuff like that. Obviously, we are married and we've been married for 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah.
And we've been together for 14 years.
Yeah.
We are quite lucky in that we're both into fitness. We both like it. We both, you know. Some people, and this is the biggest thing that I find, is when you've got one person that wants to change for the better.
Yeah.
One person that wants to start a fitness journey, and then their spouse or partner doesn't want to. Okay, now that's fine. Everybody's allowed to do their own thing. I'm not doing any of that shit. Never get me down the gym. No, I like eating what I eat. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
My only issue is people that try and deter them. Now,
Yeah.
you'll find this mostly with men that don't want their wives or girlfriends, or boyfriends or whatever, to lose weight or start looking better, because it's a security thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Suppose so.
Do you think?
I've never really thought about it, to be honest, because you've never tried to deter me from anything. So for me, that's never been a thing.
No.
But I'm sure,
it's something that I found.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
You know, you've got, and sometimes the person that's on their fitness journey doesn't even realise that they're being hindered or held back.
Yeah.
By this, and it's you know, you can't really say or do anything about it. You just got to be like, okay, we're going to work around this now. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely works better, and that's why I think that we're both quite lucky that we both enjoy doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, in the gym.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I've never felt like, you've always been really supportive of whatever I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm quite lucky in the fact that, you know, I can just pick your brains and like, come and have a look at it. What we're doing wrong here. Like, what do we need to do?
Honestly, I'm the most demanding client, and the one that I've had for the longest. I've earned the least money out of you. Yeah, and had to put in the most work because I can never get away from it.
Oh well.
There you go. Right, I'm going to wrap it up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoy that?
Yeah.